Hello all, just sitting on a bay waiting to get unloaded, and I thought while I'm here I'd do this video. It's for Jasdeep. I meant to do this a little while ago. And he asked a question. He's kind of said, how do you know when you're due to get paid, like the invoice? And he says, so you do the jobs. He says, say for example you're doing 3 jobs a day, and one of them might be in 30 days, and one of them might be in 60 days, and one of them 14 days, and then once you start rolling, and you could end up doing, over a weekend period, you could end up doing that's like 15 jobs, and that starts to roll, and suddenly you've got 60 invoices outstanding, you don't know where they are, and you don't know where they're going. So I do my best here. Now you've got to bear in mind a few things. Firstly, I don't deal with the financial side of things. The office does that. Al and Gemma do that. And even when I started from day one, I had a factoring company. I had Skipton's, because I was doing the markets, I was struggling badly, and when Tony said, you want to start on a Courier exchange, I didn't have enough money. I said, Tony, I can't go for like 2 months without getting paid. I can't go for a week without getting paid. So I had to employ a factoring company. Now a factoring company is somebody who basically, they will pay you the invoice. So say for example you do a job for £100, they'll pay you 85 quid of it in the space of like 2-3 days. And then they will pay you, when the money comes into them, when the £100 comes into them, they will then pay you a further 12.5%. So they'll pay you another £12.50, and they keep, or £12, and they keep 3 quid for themselves. And that's how they make their money. And they do that rolling forward. And it's great if you get started and you just haven't got any capital. Moving forward, it's a bit of a pain, because it means that for all the jobs you do, you're always going to lose 3%. And the game is tight. You know, when you take into account the diesel, wear and tear, spares, competition for jobs, the game is tight. So to give 3% away, if you don't have to, don't do it. So what I would recommend, if you can do it yourself. Now also, if you employ factoring companies, they're a bit of a pain, because despite the fact we employ a factoring company, we'll still do our in-house management of debts, because otherwise what happens is the factoring company will send your customers invoices for jobs they've already paid, because they don't really know what's going on, because they're a large organisation and they're not going to get it 100% right. Then your customer gets the ump and he goes, you just sent me an invoice for a bill for an invoice already paid, and then they don't want to work with you because they keep getting these red letters for bills they're paid, and nobody likes that. So if you can manage it yourself, you manage it yourself. The other advantage is the CX is actually very, very good from the point of view that when the jobs come in, and they'll say on your on the app, it will say payment 30 days, 60 days ahead of time. That is actually part of. Oh, do you think the base has gone down? The damp's gone down. That's nice. Only been here an hour, and they've got to check it. Yeah. It will tell you, it will flag up when the invoices are due. So what you can do is, if you do it straight into your bank, and then when the money comes into the bank, then you can then go on the CX app and you can go, that invoice has been paid. And then it will say, then at the end of the month, it will flag up the ones that are overdue. And then you can contact them and go, you were supposed to pay me after 30 days. It's now been 35 days, I still haven't seen any money, can I have some money now please? And then they'll get the usual excuses like, we haven't had the POD, or it's on the next pay run, or sometimes they might just pay you, which might be nice. So that is the best way to do it. Failing that, you do the factoring company way, which you liaise with the factoring company, and the factoring company will then you have to work out a way of working with them, so you upload the invoices onto their system, they will pay you accordingly. The other problem is, with a lot of people, is, say for example you do 4 or 5 jobs for the same company, and those jobs come to like 500 quid, then that company might suddenly pay you a random amount, like 327 quid. And then you've got to ring them and go, right, you pay me the invoices, can you please tell me which invoices you paid me so that I can take it off and I can sort of allocate it against my system. Then you end up with something which is called reconciliation, and that's a big headache. But moving forward, like I say, if you can afford to do it yourself, the best way is just to manage yourself. It will take more time, but it will keep everything straight in your own head. Unfortunately with us, and then we've got big at the stage we're running 5 lorries now, I would eventually look to move away from the factoring company. But in the meantime, And you answer your question, the short answer to your question, my friend, is the fact that the CX is actually very well geared up for the invoicing side of things, and it does take an awful lot of the pain away. So I wish I could give you more information, but like I say, don't really do it. I leave the office people to do that. I drive my lorries to sit on bays where they can take off 5 pallets and then spend the next hour while they count every single box. And then hopefully I'll get out of here and get a second job and a chance to. Take care and take money.